gold medalist in the Pan American Games that same year with a victory against Duke Reagan. Referee just conducting those final checks, which generally consist of checking out the gloves, making sure those thumbs are attached, making sure the gum shield's in, checking the belt line. Touching gloves between the pair of them. So in the red corner, we have Temirzhanov of Kazakhstan, and in the blue, we have Caballero of Cuba. You see the height difference there between the two of them. Temirzhanov is the bigger of the two. I thought it was a very close fight against Savin of the Russian Boxing Federation that he had in his quarter-final. I thought Savin actually maybe picked his punches a little bit better, but Temirzhanov was on the front foot and the judges went his way. He did impose that physicality because he's big at this weight. He did impose it fairly effectively. Darting jab down to the body there from Caballero and closes the gap nice and quick. Rapid feet. Again, just flicking that jab up from the waist. Sits down on that right hand, just dipped his knees, dropped his height, tried to throw it over the top. Jab to the chest there from Caballero. Looking for the 1-2 there, Temirzhanov. Then launched into the lead left hand, but that was well blocked by Caballero. And that's what Vega found. He can punch Miguel Vega, as I said, but Caballero's defenses are good. The upper body movement's pretty good, but the glove positioning is just as important for him. He catches a lot of shots. Right hand to the body there, though, from Temirzhanov as we hit the midway point of the round. Just tilts to his left before throwing the lead left hand there. Caballero takes those feet out very, very well. This is a good fight. They're both just looking for openings here. They're working hard, just trying to see what they can draw from their opponent, what gaps they can find. There's a point and a purpose to pretty much everything that's being thrown in here at the moment. Inside the final minute, not all that much has landed clean. Nice little left to the body there from Caballero. Temirzhanov, though, really dips those knees and shoots that right hand straight through into the pit of the Cuban stomach. Looking for the uppercut there from Temirzhanov. Not sure if that landed absolutely on the target, but it was pretty expansive. Maybe fancies his chances of timing Caballero on the way in. Caballero's right hand just got tangled up in Temirzhanov, so again just goes down to the body with the right. The way I've seen this, I thought Caballero first half of the round maybe had the better of it. Temirzhanov, though, possibly just beginning to impose himself in the second round, and there is a knockdown. Well, just as I said, he was beginning to impose himself. He provided tangible evidence of it. Rolando Alcibal outside the ring there, I don't think feels that was caused by a clean punch, and we'll have to have a look because we couldn't really see it from here because it was the far side of the ring, but it did seem like a kind of half and half round up until that point.
Yeah, I would agree entirely. For what it's worth, I slightly favoured the work of the man in blue, his work to the body, his defensive manoeuvres, but Temirzhanov has got it for all 5 scoring judges. And the knockdown, we've said, how much store do AIBA judges put into a knockdown, because it doesn't result in an automatic 10-8 round as it does in the pros, but it must have certainly tilted it into a unanimous round in favour of Temirzhanov, because prior to that, for my money, it was nip and tuck all the way, as evidenced by that sequence there. Both boxers enjoying success, particularly Caballero down to the body, but then some impressive straights from Temirzhanov as well, such as that backhand downstairs. Terrific round of boxing, contrasting modalities. What a 6 minutes we have in score. Temirzhanov sweeping the first unanimously after the knockdown.
So he's got that advantage heading into round 2, and now Caballero has got to do something about this. But at this kind of level, as we've seen so many times, You can't just go gung-ho in the second round if you drop the first. You can't just walk forward throwing punches without a plan. You'll get picked apart if you do that. That is a surefire recipe for losing the second round and then finding yourself really out of the race before it's even nearly over. Temirzhanov looking for that right hand. Again, just throws it down to the body. He's got a long reach. What's good about him is that even though he is big, he is muscular for this weight, he's not a headhunter. He'll go down to that body. Look for a jab to the body there. Didn't quite manage to land that one. Left to the body there from Caballero. A minute down in round two. Caballero is more on the front foot in this second round, trying to increase the pressure really on Temirzhanov. Temirzhanov just looking to try and get on that jab. Doesn't really jab to land it necessarily. It's not really a weapon. It's more of a rangefinder, a distraction, something to set up that right hand. Leads off with a left hook to the body there. Caballero trying to work his way onto the inside. Temirzhanov just wrapping him up with those long arms midway through round two. Referee warning him about the head. Temirzhanov, that is. Caballero again just trying to launch that right hand from the outside. Shaping with the right there, Temirzhanov threw a couple of punches and might just have got there with the left, a little sneaky uppercut as he took a step away to the right here, and he just seems to be growing in confidence here, Temirzhanov. Chopping down with the right hand, but didn't really land it. He's backing up a bit in this second round, though. And as I say, in terms of clean punching, it's been quite similar to the first. I think Temirzhanov has picked his better than he picked them in the first round. I do think that knockdown at the end of the round possibly did have a significant bearing as we head into the final 30 seconds here. Jabs up to the body, throws a right hand downstairs at almost exactly the same time there. Temirzhanov sets his feet and throws the 1-2. Caballero is very difficult to catch clean. So Temirzhanov, remember, up on all 5 scorecards at the end of the first round. Caballero with a left into the body. Temirzhanov working to the body with a rapid 4-5 punch combination there. The bell goes at the end of the second, and they both kind of claim it as they walk back to their corners, and it was tight again.
For what it's worth, I think this man's going to be disappointed, the man in blue, because I thought that was Temirzhanov's round, but how will the judges see it? Well, it's a split in favor of Temirzhanov, 3-2, and look at that. If he could have convinced one more judge, Caballero, then it would have been tied up on 3 scorecards going into the final round, but as it is, he's got a mountain to climb now because he's down 20 points to 18 on 3 of the 5 judges' scorecards. He's tied it up on the other 2 after a spirited fight back in the second round, but truth be told, we have to assume and conclude that it's the knockdown that was the decisive factor in the first to make it a 5-0 sweep of the cards in favor of Temirzhanov. Such are the fine margins at this level of AIBA World Championship Boxing.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, because it would have been pretty unusual in such a tight round to have got a 5-0, I think. We've seen lots of split scoring in this competition. The judging's been good. When it's been a tight round, more often than not, that's been reflected. And it's not out of the realms of possibility to get a 5-0 in a very tight round. It will just so happen that all 5 judges go the same way with it. But into the start of the third, and as you rightly point out, Caballero's got a mountain to climb because he's down by 2 points on 3 cards. Temirzhanov banging his gloves together there as if to usher Caballero in, and he fancies having a bit of a trade-off, I think, in his third and final round. The Kazakh fighter, Caballero, I think, will duly oblige him. Goes down to the body, and then just dip to his left and try to throw a left straight through the guard. And Temirzhanov, I think, at this weight classification, given the size he is, will fancy that he can take whatever anybody has got to give him, really. Both of them were just standing stock still in front of each other for a couple of seconds there, and something had to give. A minute into the third round. Left to the body from Caballero was very deliberately placed. 1-2 crashes mainly into the gloves. Temirzhanov with some good upper body movement there. Just reels off a combination to the body. Still coming forward here, Caballero. Relentlessly. Just trying to see if he can make something happen as we head into the closer stages. Increasingly, that big catapult overhand right is what he's going for. If he could land that, then that's the kind of shot that could possibly turn this around, because he needs 10-8, so he needs something pretty electrifying in this final round. You can get a 10-8 by dominating around. You don't have to go crazy and land the kitchen sink, but if you dominate it from beginning to end, if it's a very clear round win, then you can still get a 10-8. But in a round like this, as you head into the closing stages, you really need a big single shot. You really need to badly hurt your opponent, and it's difficult to see him being able to manage that at this stage. But it's been a good fight. Again, this has been a good fight. The tempo, the work rate from both has been very, very high. And impressively, actually, neither one of them's really looking like fading. Temirzhanov just gets hold of his man there and walks him back towards the ropes on the far side. The referee has a quick chat about holding, but strangely enough, he wasn't really holding. He was just leaning and walking. And Caballero, I think, was kind of happy enough just to nick a little breather there himself too. So there goes the bell, and we know, being privy to the scores, that it's going to be Temirzhanov who goes through. Caballero gave it absolutely everything there, didn't he? And Temirzhanov, I think he's an interesting kind of fighter, because he is big for the weight. I think he just really, really trusts his own strength. But having said that, he doesn't walk onto anything unnecessarily. His upper body movement, his elusiveness is pretty good.
Certainly is. We're just moments away from getting the verdict, which will see the boxer in red go through to contest championship gold.
Well, Temirzhanov gets it by split decision, and it's 3-2, which, if you look at the results sheet, you will think that that would have been an absolute barnstormer, and going down to the very final round. It was a very good fight to watch, but those 10-9s across the board in the final round there from Caballero are what has turned this into a 3-2, because Temirzhanov had a significant lead going into that final round, and he goes through to the final, where he will face Jamal Harvey, which is just another tremendous matchup. Caballero worked really, really hard in that final round, and the judges went his way with it. Again, I didn't think there was very much in it, to be perfectly honest. So that takes care of business in the featherweight division. Next up, we've got light welterweights, Turkey against Scotland, and then Cuba against Armenia. Two powerhouse nations there in Kazakhstan